Welcome to day 2 of this super divinely inspired, magical, creative manifestation potential energy that we are collectively experiencing this week. This energy is in effect yet again today, along with some other aspects going on that are in some ways actually emphasizing this energy and helping to set it, okay? Welcome back to my channel, everybody. What is today? Tuesday, September 30th, 2021. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. Let's get it started, jump right into today's energetics. And if you guys want to stick around with me until the end of the video, I'm also going to talk about the tarot cards that came up alongside the astrological energetics today and pull a synchronicity message for all of us as long as I have time. Okay, so let's get started. Like I said, we are in day 2 of this really powerful manifestation window that was brought to us by the energetics that began to activate yesterday. We had an exact trine from the sun to Saturn. This is a master builder energetic, laying new foundations based in personal creative self-expression, things sort of falling into place for us, alongside of this really beautiful grand trine in water signs between Venus, Neptune, and the moon that is just really doing so much to help us align with divine inspiration and what we truly love and value deep within our heart, and then our emotions coming into alignment with that too, and really helping us to imprint our wishes and desires and dreams for the future onto the invisible planes of reality, where then that aspect between the sun and Saturn yesterday was really grabbing it, holding onto it, and helping to ground it in the physical plane so that it can actually tangibly, physically begin to manifest for us. So this is a very potent duo of aspects that was in effect. It began yesterday, and it's carrying over the exact trine between the sun, moon, or between Venus, Neptune, and the moon happened overnight. So this energy was very much in effect in building all day yesterday. It happened overnight, exactly last night while we were sleeping, helping our dreams to be supported even more. And then as we're entering energetics today, this energy is still present. Although the sun has now moved out of exact alignment with Saturn, although it's only a 1 degree orb space between the exact conjunctions. So this energetic is still in effect today as well. So we are still in the grand water trine energy from yesterday. Like I said, it was building all day, activated overnight, and is carrying over throughout the day today and being emphasized by some additional energetics that we have going on today. Number 1 for energetic activations happening today. Venus moves today from 22 degrees of Scorpio, where she was making the exact trine to Neptune yesterday, to 23 degrees of Scorpio today. And that means that will put her into an exact square today with Jupiter retrograde, who is currently at 23 degrees of Aquarius. And so this square between Venus still in the trine to Neptune and the moon is still in Lake Cancer, emphasizing that trine as well. Now in the exact square to Jupiter, this is expanding our faith and our optimism and our hope and our confidence in ourselves, and are giving us the ability to be able to pursue this dreams into reality manifestation energy that we are so strongly in the midst of right now. It's expanding the energetic of aligning with our true heart's desires, and it is giving us the belief in the trust in ourselves, to believe and trust in the universe that we are able to manifest and live a life in alignment with our true desires. Jupiter expands things. It rules faith, it rules trust, it rules belief, it rules optimism and hope and blessings. And with Jupiter retrograde, this energy is internalized. So it's actually increasing the faith and the belief and the trust that we have in ourselves. And in this case, like I said, this is actually giving us the ability to put that faith and trust and confidence that we have in ourselves also in universe, and to apply it to universe as well, to just enhance this multifaceted faith that we really truly deserve what is in alignment with our heart's true desires. And so this Jupiter energy, again, which brings blessings and luck and expansion, is expanding all of these dreams into reality energetics that were very present yesterday and are still present today. So today, not only do we have this really like master builder, grounding like hopes and wishes and dreams into reality so that they can really start to grow. We still have that in effect from yesterday, but now it's being expanded and emphasized through a heightened faith and trust in ourselves and also in the spiritual process. And this in and of itself is contributing in big ways, Jupiter, to the process that started taking place yesterday of actually setting these things that we've been imprinting through our imagination and our daydreams and our fantasies and aligning with our highest ideals and our deepest desires. This energetic helps us to actually set them through an expanded faith and trust and belief in ourself and the process. So this energetic is doing a lot to emphasize what began yesterday and is really supporting us, really helping us along in this process today. Let's see. The next thing that and I need to talk about the Sabian symbols for these degrees. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Sabian symbols, what they are is a group of symbols that describes each and every one of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. Whenever a planet is at a specific degree, making an aspect to another planet, we can look at the degrees that this is happening at, and then we can analyze the symbol associated with that degree. And it gives us a better idea of the underlying, purpose for why this transit is actually activating in the context of this grand cosmic story that is perpetually unfolding and carrying us through time and space. So I always love to look at the Sabian symbols whenever I'm analyzing energetics because they just give us more information as to why this is happening. And I like to know the whys of things because it helps me understand better, and I hope it helps you understand better too. So let's talk about the Sabian symbols for the degree placement where Venus is moving today for this square to Jupiter. So Venus is moving to 23 degrees of Scorpio, and Jupiter is at 23 degrees of Aquarius currently, and they're both in fixed signs at the same degree, and that is what is causing this exact aspect. So 23 degrees of Scorpio, where Venus is today, is a bunny metamorphosed into a fairy. And if you guys watched my video from yesterday, which if you missed it, I definitely recommend that you watch it because there's a lot of context in that video that lends itself to what is going on in the energetics today. I talked a lot more yesterday about the dynamic of these two aspects, Sun trine Saturn and the grand trine in water that we have going on. I talked all about that yesterday and really just the significance of it and broke it down, step by step as to how to go through this process of manifesting in conjunction with universe under these energetics. So if you missed that, you may want to check that out. And there was also a major theme in those energetics from yesterday about birds and sprouting wings and, really taking flight. And today we have the position of Venus, who's a very integral planet in all of this. She was part of the grand trine yesterday. She's the one that is making the square to Jupiter today. And the Sun, Mars, and Mercury are also all in Libra. We are rapidly approaching the new moon in Libra, which is ruled by Venus. So Venus is a very important planet right now, and she is the one that is doing a lot of this business that is helping us in this manifestation process window that we were being gifted with yesterday and today as well. And again, that degree is a bunny metamorphosed into a fairy. So again, this is talking about taking, a creature and metamorphosizing, going through this rebirth process, this transformation, this transfiguration into something that has wings and that can fly away, and that is associated with just this magical quality and this freedom and this liberation and this ability to really be a master of its own reality in a way. And that is the process that we are all going through right now. There's a quality of our heart, very deep down inside, that is going through this metamorphosis, this internal transformation, this regeneration that is really trying to take us up to a higher octave in alignment with the genuine, authentic truth of what we truly love, what we truly desire, and the value that we really hold within ourselves. It's we're seeing the value now and we're stepping into that, and it's transforming us. And all of these other things are coming as a result of that process. This ability to manifest the things that we desire, bring our dreams into reality, a lot of it has to do with realizing our true internal value and stepping into that and realizing that we deserve these things that we desire and that universe wants us to have them, because it is helping us to develop and to cultivate our own potential and to align more with ourselves so that we can step into our authenticity and our truth and our true self-mastery and our true self-empowerment as a byproduct of that. And then through that process of coming into our true potential, we can cultivate our talents, cultivate our gifts, and begin to serve the greater good of humanity with them and fill this like void that could never be filled if it wasn't for the unique like special gifts and abilities and talents and understandings and perspectives and everything that each and every one of us individually has. So we're being called to transform into a higher octave of ourselves that can unlock our latent talents and abilities and bring us joy and ultimate fulfillment so that we can then serve others, the greater good, with what we have inside of us and truly fulfill our divine destiny here in this reality at this point in time on Earth. So I love this degree for the square to Jupiter today. And then Jupiter is at 23 degrees of Aquarius, a big bear sitting down, waving all of its paws. And you put these two together, it's like we are defending our magic and our metamorphosis with this, and we are sprouting wings. It's like we are defending this process as well. We are not going to let anyone take it from us. We're not going to be afraid. We're not going to let anyone shut us down. We're standing in our power. We're a big bear waving all its paws at anyone that tries to get in the way of our process of metamorphosizing from this rabbit into this fairy. And rabbits are also representative and symbolic of like fertility and things happening quickly as well. And so this is a process that can happen quickly and that can really lead to a lot of creativity and fertility in our lives, a rebirth all across the board. Today, you guys, a return to the heart fire and like a real rebirth into like the true nature of our heart is very indicated by the energetics, because of course this is part of that process of realigning with our dreams and grounding them into reality so that we can begin to create them in this paradigm going forward. So we have that is one of the main aspects that we have going on today, is that Venus is moving to 23 degrees of Scorpio, making this square to Jupiter, expanding everything that we began working on yesterday and are still in the process of doing today. The next thing that we have going on today is that we are having Mercury, who is retrograde right now. Remember, you guys, don't forget that Mercury is retrograde. This is a period that is all about going back in time and reevaluating what we've learned, reevaluating what we've said, what we thought, gaining new information and coming to new conclusions about things, okay? And we have Mercury retrograding back to 25 degrees of Libra today, bringing Mercury back into an exact square to Pluto. Now, this energetic has been activated for a few days now, like a couple weeks maybe, as Mercury was slowing down, came to retrograde only a few degrees off, and now is retrograded back into this exact square. And Mercury in square to Pluto, this is all about like gaining penetrating insight into things, like seeing behind the veil, seeing under the curtain, like really seeing down into like the root of things and gaining, like it's like having x-ray vision into something. And with Mercury being the mind, it's like having to do with information and what we're learning, like learning some very root causes to issues, okay, with this going on, like really seeing behind the scenes of things. And we have the moon, you guys, in late Cancer, remember, who will actually be forming an exact opposition to Pluto and also an exact square to Mercury in Libra. These are cardinal signs now that we're working at. Cancer and Capricorn, Libra and Aries, these are all the cardinal signs and they all square each other. And so when we have Pluto in Capricorn, the moon in Cancer, Mercury in Libra, all at the same degrees, this is now forming a T-square in the sky. And this is bringing transformation, you guys, profound insight, and in some ways, it's emotionally empowering us to speak our truth about what we're gaining insight into under these energetics. Profound internal change and a rebirth taking place with this, and it's realigning us with our true value. Now, let's talk about the Sabian symbols involved in this for a minute, because again, they're really being very specific about this process. We have the moon will be coming to 25 degrees of Cancer for the opposition to Pluto in the square to Mercury. This degree is a leader of men wrapped in an invisible cloak of power. We have Mercury at 25 degrees of Libra. The sight of an autumn leaf brings to the pilgrim the sudden revelation of the mystery of life and death. And then we have Pluto at 25 degrees of Capricorn, a store filled with precious oriental rugs. And so, even these degrees are talking about this process of rebirth and metamorphosis. Mercury is at 26 or 25 degrees of Libra. The sight of an autumn leaf brings to the pilgrim the sudden revelations of the mystery and life and death. This is a very plutonic energy that's being described here. It's all about the death and the rebirth process, and this person having this realization of the transformative process that encompasses the cycle of life. Very plutonic in its messaging, and this is in a square to Pluto, all about transformation, regeneration, rebirth. And then the moon, y'all, at that degree, a leader of men wrapped in an invisible cloak of power. That is all Pluto. Pluto rules power, and all power dynamics are in the domain of Pluto. So Pluto is being emphasized, spoken about here too. And again, Pluto is profound, deep transformation, metamorphosis, alchemization, insight, and the phoenix rising from the ashes. Just this very, very profound regeneration when we have Pluto involved. And again, this in Pluto at that degree, a store filled with precious oriental rugs, is all about getting us to look inside our own store and realize the precious value that we truly hold within us, and the power that actually represents when we embody that and step into it and carry that frequency in ourselves as we go about our lives. So this transit today, this T-square that's going on, there's so much involved symbolically in this aspect pertaining to power and to transformation, regeneration, and realizing what is truly at the root of our power, which is our own understanding of our self-worth and our self-value and our self-love and the precious qualities of what we truly hold inside. This aspect, it's a square. So squares create tension, squares create conflict, but it's for the purpose of pushing us to make some kind of change, to make some type of breakthrough. And this aspect is causing us to go through this again, transforming, metamorphosizing from the rabbit into the fairy. It is having this very profound and transformative effect on our emotional body, the moon, and also our mental body, on our mind. Learning things, figuring things out that have been root issues, root causes that have been preventing us from being able to align emotionally with the transformations that we need to make to carry us forward. Well, we're doing that now. And it has a lot to do with realizing the sudden revelations, of this process of rebirth, this process of regeneration, how life truly is all about growth and change. And stagnation in life is never what God or universe wants us to be or where it wants us to be. Our comfort zone is actually one of the most dangerous places that we can be in, because it prevents our evolution and our growth. And if our evolution and our growth is stagnated, then we're not coming into our potential. We're not fulfilling our destiny in terms of everything that universe has given us and the plan that universe has for us. So we are changing on a very deep and profound level today with this aspect, alongside of really aligning with what's deeply in our heart and imprinting this on the invisible planes, the spiritual planes of reality, so that it can then be grounded in the physical, tangible planes of reality through this sun trine square, and really begin to lay a new foundation for us to walk down going forward. That is a path that wants to develop and bloom in correspondence with the dreams, the wishes that we wish to manifest and experience in our lives, that are ultimately trying to bring us into this place of genuine, true, heart-based, soul-based fulfillment. Okay, that is the path we're walking, because for us to be in that place, that is the place that gives us our own sense of personal empowerment, which helps us go through this process of coming into self-mastery and being able to share our gifts, our experiences, our talents with others, and help them along the same process as well. Because ultimately, the entire point of this is coming to our highest place so that we can serve the greater good to the best of our ability. That is all about what Aquarius, that is like everything that Aquarius is about. It's very much, and that's where we're going. That's the point of all of this, is because we're moving into the age of Aquarius. Sorry for the lawnmower outside, you guys. I hope that's not too distracting. Obviously, there's just lawn being mowed. But that's where this is taking us, into the age of Aquarius, where we are all, eventually standing in our power and our self-mastery, and really co-creating with the universe the experience of life that we wish to have and wish to live, alongside of, in alignment with our highest potential, so that we can truly serve the greater good of humanity. That is what universe wants us to do as we transition into the age of Aquarius. And, when we are living in a world where that is the status quo, it will be like an entirely different experience of life. And that is the direction that things are headed. And this is the start. So that as well. Now, I want to talk about this moon aspect on just more of a mundane level for a minute, because we lost the light again. Sorry, guys. Okay, I want to read about this because sometimes the moon aspects can be a little trickier. So I wrote a little bit about this that I wanted to write to. So on a personal level, this moon T-square with Pluto and Mercury today may bring up conflict in terms of our emotional needs, feeling frustrated, or causing conflict resulting from relationships, partnerships, or finances. We may feel overpowered, or speaking up about our emotional needs today may create conflict in relationships or money situations, or upset power dynamics that we're sort of comfortable in right now. This energy is meant to create breakthroughs, though, and to push you to the point of changing something and realigning with those true needs and desires. Mental and emotional power struggles in relationships pushing us to transform under these energetics, and there really is a lot going on in these energetics, referencing power dynamics and stuff like that today. So I just wanted to read that as well, because it may be playing out in relationships a lot today too, since there is such an emphasis on Libra, and that's where Mercury retrograde is right now as well. Today, though, y'all, is all about transforming into personal freedom and liberation, and really embracing the magic, that rabbit metamorphosizing into a fairy. Okay, we have one more big aspect going on today that I want to talk about, and that is we have Mars coming into an exact opposition with Chiron today, while Mars and the Sun are in a 2-degree orb conjunction. So first of all, Chiron is the wounded healer teacher archetype. The Chiron energetic represents generally some type of very painful wounding or trauma that we experience, usually in early childhood, that sets us on this path of the hero's journey. And what that is this journey back to wholeness. It's going from a victim state into self-mastery through this process of self-learning, self-healing, self-growth, self-realization, and ultimately self-mastery, and then going on to teach others and be a guiding light to others traveling down the same path. And over time, this is how the collective of humanity, who, we are all a very traumatized species, but over time, with this Chiron energetic being activated perpetually, and specifically in our individual charts, and all of us who have been individually on this journey, it snowballs, and this is how humanity collectively clears the trauma that we've been enduring for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So Chiron is a very significant energetic. And with Mars in opposition to Chiron today, you guys, this is a lot to do with like, we are learning from our experiences. We are aggressively defending our healing process with these energetics in effect. There may be fights or conflicts that surface or become prominent over themes of health and healing. Also, defending children is a very big theme with this because, again, Chiron rules early childhood and early childhood wounding. And there may also be attacks on leaders or countries or leaders of countries with these energetics in effect today as well. And that is because it's Mars. Mars rules conflict, war, aggression, battles, fights. And Chiron right now is at 11 degrees of Aries, which is the Sabian symbol of the ruler of a nation. And Mars is at 11 degrees of Libra, which is a professor peering over his glasses at his students. So this is definitely talking about, gaining some wisdom through experience from where Mars is sitting. And Chiron is at the ruler of a nation. So I do think that it's possible that we may see some attacks on rulers of nations, either literally or metaphorically, like in terms of information, because it's Libra, an air sign with this. But yeah, like that could be a theme coming through too. Also, we could just see like angry financial markets or like economic upheaval. There could be something going on with finances, economies with this energetic as well. This is definitely activating the hero's journey collectively for us. We have Mars, the spiritual warrior, in opposition to the planet that represents the hero's journey. So collectively, we are beginning, or actually, this is just activating the spirit of the spiritual warrior on the hero's journey with this energetic. Also regenerating, healing, and coming into enhanced strength and courage through self-mastery with these two planets in combination. Igniting the process of internal alchemy. Chiron rules alchemy, transforming a base substance into a precious metal, our victimhood into self-mastery, igniting processes of internal alchemy, transformation, regeneration, metamorphosis from victimhood into mastery, like I said. And again, this is sort of emblematic to that Venus degree, the rabbit, which is a very hunted creature. It's a prey creature into a fairy, which is like a magical, spiritual, divine being. And that is this process as well that is being spoken of through the Chiron energetic, the alchemist being activated. And you guys, while Mars is still in a conjunction to the sun, of course, this also increases potential for conflict and aggression. Very high right now, actions happening behind the scenes, also with things, very high energy. We want to watch reckless impulses, and it's good to be like more physically active during this time because there's just a lot of energy, a lot of high energy, and being physically active is a good outlet for this so that we're not sort of taking our aggression out in places that might not be calling for it, okay? But it also is a very stand up for yourself and stand your ground and speak your mind energetic as well. So, don't hide from conflict if there is a real need that you need to assert yourself, but just have some discretion in how you're using these more aggressive energies, okay? The Sabian symbols today, there are a lot of real significant ones going on. For one, we have the sun today at 8 degrees of Libra. That Sabian symbol is a blazing fireplace in a deserted home. So this is all about coming back to the fire that is burning in our heart, that we may have abandoned for a long period of time while we were seeking to mold or conform ourselves to other people's ideals and expectations of us, but we're not doing that anymore. We're in the process of bringing our dreams into reality, and this is really reigniting and sparking the fire that burns within our heart, like the true fire that burns within our spirit and our soul, and we're coming home to that today with the sun at this degree. We also, is there any I missed? No, I mean, I've talked about all of the other ones. We have the leader of men wrapped in a cloak of invisible power. The sight of an autumn leaf brings to the pilgrim the sudden revelation of the mystery in life and death. A bunny metamorphosed into a fairy. A professor peering over his glasses at his students. A big bear sitting down, waving all of its paws. A store filled with precious oriental rugs. And the ruler of a nation. These are the main Sabian symbols from the planets that are making aspects today. So overall, it is just, we are igniting the original flame. There is an expanded sense of internal faith and trust that's going on inside of us right now that is really helping us to re-embrace our dreams and make them a reality under these energetics. And, there is this T-square between the moon and Mercury and Pluto today. This is exposing things, and it's helping us to step back into our power, and it's busting us out of power dynamics that are no longer good for us. And then we have the Mars in opposition to Chiron. This again brings up all of these themes of like battles or conflicts or passion or aggression regarding health and healing, protecting children. And there are themes coming up about, again, like rulers or leaders of nations possibly encountering some type of difficulties under this energetic as well. But it is all for the purpose of alchemy. Today is so much about an internal alchemization, an internal transformation, an internal metamorphosis. We're changing from one form into something so much more evolved that can bring us so much more joy and fulfillment. And on that note, I want to move into talking about the tarot for the day. Every morning before I do these reports, or just like slightly after, I shuffle my cards and I ask God, universe, to give me a message in terms of where the collective is at and the way that these energetics are playing out. When I was shuffling this morning, 3 cards jumped out, so I'm using them all. This is what we got. We got the 4 of Pentacles upside down. We also got that card yesterday. We got the Lovers upside down. And we got the 10 of Wands upright. Now, this to me is saying that we are ready to let go of what we've loved in the past relationships or commitments that we've had that have become just a heavy burden. We can't carry them any longer. We can no longer carry this burden. It is not benefiting us. And why are we doing this? What is going on? The back of the deck, the Queen of Cups. It is, we are ready to open to the true emotional fulfillment that is waiting for us once we go through this process this week of manifestation and manifesting our dreams and grounding them into reality. We are headed towards ultimate soul and heart fulfillment if we can go through this process of letting go of what we've loved. Again, this is talking about bringing up themes of Venus, metamorphosizing what we've loved in the past into what we need to bring us fulfillment in the future, and we're ready to let go. I'm just going to grab a synchronicity card real quick before my camera shuts off. Obstructions removed, you guys. Rest in me. I have gone ahead and removed every stone. God has gone before you and removed every obstacle. Any obstacle you now perceive is a product of your own imagination. Let go and let God lead you. There is no wrong action. There is only right action. Follow the leads which come to you. That is really summing up those tarot cards that I just pulled and all of the energetics going on today. We are metamorphosizing. We are coming back into the hearth of the heart. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Share it with your friends so that we can get this information out to more people. Leave me comments. I love your comments, you guys. And please tune in tomorrow. Come back with me so we can talk more about the progressions of these energetics. See you guys then. Bye.